Do you ever feel like women are a different species? You just wish you could decode or understand them better. Like you want and crave a woman, but you have absolutely no fucking clue how to read women? How do you even know if she's interested? Well, if any of this resonates with you, then stay tuned. This episode is for you. Hello, my pets, and welcome into The Dungeon, the podcast that is typically for submissives to learn, grow, be entertained, and find empowerment in their lifestyle. But today's episode is for all single men everywhere, not just submissives. I'm your host, KatNash, the Music City Dominatrix, and today we are decoding women. But first, I want to pose a question for you to think about. What if the issue here, the real issue, is not that women are confusing, but what if the main problem is that most men have never been taught how to truly observe? Really think about that, because I don't think that the main disconnect is that men and women think and feel so wildly different. Though, yes, there are many differences, but I think that these differences are fundamentally complementary. But the main difference and why women are so confusing to men is that men lack observational skills. And don't let your ego get in the way of listening to what I'm actually saying here. Men for decades have been trying to crack some invisible code on women. They swap advice. They look for the right move, the right line. I mean, hello, fucking pickup lines, right? Stupidest shit ever, really. But I understand the intention. A lot of men aren't trying to be disrespectful or shallow. They're trying to get it right. So they share locker room anecdotes. They Google the best pickup lines. They ask ChatGPT for advice on picking up women with minimal success. And I'm going to go into that. I'm going to give you some hints, hacks, and insight that can help demystify picking up women. Before you earn those gold nuggets of wisdom, there are some things that I really need you to understand. If it seems like women are speaking in riddles, if you feel like you're getting mixed signals, you're not wrong. Women are dynamic, complex beings. However, women do not speak in riddles for fun. They're communicating within a context that many men have never even had to think about. And that's a context shaped by safety. Throughout history and still very much into the present day, rejecting a man directly has not always been safe for women. It can lead to anger, it can lead to persistence or pressure, insults. It can escalate to aggression or even violence. And before you think, yeah, Kat, but that's fucking rare. That's rare extreme cases. I assure you that it's not. I can't count or even remember all the times in my life when rejection, even the kindest, most gentle expressions of disinterest, have been met with aggression. So I assure you, this is actually a big issue. So over time, they've learned to soften their language, to deflect, to make excuses, even lie, to smile and be super friendly as we tell you that, oh, we're busy, or I can't right now, or I'm a lesbian, or I've got a boyfriend, or even I have a husband, I'm married, to which too often we are still met with pressure. I've had every single one of these previous tactics I've used in my life, and there have been times that every single one of them didn't work. Oh, you're married? Well, your husband isn't here right now. He doesn't have to know. Oh, you're a lesbian? I love lesbians. Let me watch. And These are the nicer responses. There's always name calling, violence, or non consensual force, all of which I have personally experienced. And to be clear here, folks, I wasn't some hardened, living on the streets hussy, right? This is all experienced through the eyes of middle and upper class communities, suburbia. This is the experiences of your mom, of your sister, of your friends. This is normal women experiencing this on the regular, okay? So we try to subtly disengage because it's the safer option. Men will say, I just wish women were more direct, but they're often missing the point that directness requires safety. I want to reiterate that. For women, directness requires a feeling of safety. We have to feel safe to say no. Once you understand that, everything else will start to make sense. Often, what you interpret as mixed signals is really a woman trying to let you down gently without creating a situation that's beyond her control. And it's not just the quote unquote dangerous guys that we have to look out for. So don't be thinking, well, I'm a nice guy, I wouldn't do that. That's bad experiences with bad guys. No, it's not just the nice guys the bad guys we have to look out for. I've had a nice guy, a long-term personal submissive who was super sweet, super nice all the fucking time, get in my face, yelling aggressively, following me around a couple feet away from me the whole time as I packed up my stuff to leave. He was a good guy who snapped because he realized I was leaving. I've had a boyfriend who was a hippie pacifist. He snapped in a hop-fueled rage and slammed my head on the ground repeatedly during an argument. And these were not typically dangerous guys. These weren't bad boys. These are game night loving, hop drinking hipster guys. And even they snapped when their egos were bruised. So I really want you to understand the life that women live may look similar to yours, but it has been very, very different since forever. So now that you understand that, you can begin decoding because it is subtle. It is hard to read. It may be a riddle or a puzzle. So this is why what you really want and what you really need is awareness. You don't need decoding. You don't need pickup lines, hacks, or tricks. You need good old-fashioned awareness. The first and most important shift I want you to make is learning the difference between politeness and enthusiasm. When a woman is genuinely interested, there is more ease to your interaction with her. She contributes to the conversation. She asks questions back to you. She tells stories or gives input without it feeling like you're having to pull it out of her. It doesn't feel like you're having to pull teeth just to keep the conversation going. That is a sign that she is actually interested and not just being polite. Adversely, when a woman is just being polite, she's cooperative, but she's not invested. She may answer you, but she won't expand. She may smile, but it doesn't quite reach her energy. She doesn't feel excited to be talking to you. The conversation stays pretty surface level. There's no real momentum to it. And a lot of men interpret this as a green light, when in reality, it's often just a social default for women to kind of just keep the conversation going without ramping up enthusiasm or depth. That's just a sign. It's a social defect. It doesn't mean she's interested. A woman being nice to you is not the same as a woman being interested in you. And I think that this is where we reach a big difference between men and women. Women will be polite and chat with anyone, but men will often just completely ignore, overlook, or snub a woman who he doesn't or he's not attracted to in some way. But women will chat with anyone. Just because she's friendly, smiling, and chatting, it doesn't mean she's interested in you, okay? Now let's get into body language because the body tells truth long before words do. And sometimes the body is the only thing that's telling the truth. And to be clear, you don't have to become an expert in micro movements or micro expressions to understand this. You just need to pay attention to direction. Okay? Is she leaning in towards you or is she leaning away? What direction is her chest and torso facing? If a woman feels comfortable and she's interested, her body tends to orient towards you. So think of solar plexus, chest facing you. There's more eye contact. Her posture is generally relaxed, and typically she'll face her body towards you and her head towards you. And a lot of times she'll physically lean forward, like her head is leaning forward towards you. When a woman is uncomfortable or not interested, there won't be as much eye contact. She'll turn her head away when answering questions. Now, there's a slight difference here because like some people, they don't look you in the eye when they're answering questions. Like for me, for example, I look all around when I'm answering questions, but my face is staying pointed towards you. If she's moving her eyes around, like breaking eye contact, and her head is turning in a different direction, that's a good sign. She'll look away with her eyes, which is normal. Normal people do that. But turning her actual head away to answer, that's a sign. If her chest is facing away from you, if her feet are pointed towards the door or towards a path away from you, oftentimes her arms may be crossed. She might be leaning back slightly. These are all communication from her body that she is not interested. These movements are communication. They are the answer to your question, is she into me? If her body wants to leave, let her. One of the biggest issues is that men often ignore these early signals and they're waiting for a hard rejection that may never come. But women, in many cases, are communicating their discomfort in smaller, quieter ways. If her phone comes out more often, her responses get shorter and shorter, her laughter fades. There's longer pauses between replies. It's a gradual pulling back. And oftentimes, instead of recognizing this as their cue to exit left, many men will just try harder. They're going to push more. They think, maybe I just need to say something better or be more aggressive, make it more obvious. Maybe let me be more blunt. No, she's trying to disengage without escalating the situation. And this can happen with her language as well. If she says something like, oh, I'm kind of busy, or maybe another time, or, I've got a lot going on right now. These are all no's. And here's a simple rule that can completely change the way men move through the world and then ultimately result in women being more open and transparent as well. Are you ready? You ready for this? Listen up and pay attention because this is really fucking important. If it's not a clear yes, then it's a no. And in the BDSM world, if it's not an enthusiastic yes, it's a no. And I'm going to repeat this for the ones in the back. If it's not a clear yes, then that means no. It's not a maybe. It's not a try harder. No. Got it? All right, good. And I want you to really understand or begin to try. Many women, most women, are moving through the world with a low level, constant awareness of risk. Not necessarily fear in every moment, but awareness, assessment, calculation. And most women have lived with this for so fucking long that they don't even cognitively think about it. It's just the way that they are in the world. If I say no, how will he react? Are we in public? Are there other women or allies around to support this no if it goes bad? Is it easy for me to get away? Am I sober enough to drive if I need to escape? If I disengage, will he follow me? If I'm too direct, will this escalate? That's the sort of internal dialogue that's constantly running that oftentimes is not even in the forefront of our minds. So when a woman chooses to be vague, polite, or indirect, it's not a failure to communicate. It's not her leading you on or being confusing. That's just missing the big picture entirely. She is managing safety. And once you understand that, once you truly absorb the fundamental differences in women's experiences in this world versus men's, something shifts in you. You stop trying to decode her and you start paying attention to her experience. And from that place, your behavior will naturally become more calibrated to hers. And this is where it will start to feel like you've been given a magic key into the kingdom of understanding women. If you want to understand anyone, begin with trying to understand what life is like from their perspective and based on their history. It's really that fucking simple. Once you do that, everything else will seem kind of natural. One of the simplest tools that I can give you is called the mirror principle. And it's as simple as matching her energy. If she is interested, you show interest. If she seems neutral, you be neutral. If she pulls back, you pull back too. And if you're unsure, stop texting, stop talking. If she messages, she's interested. If she stops messaging, take that as a sign. All right? She's pulling back and you should pull back. And I know that some of you out there are listening and thinking, well, if I follow this advice, I'll have no woman to talk to. No women are just messaging me. All I'm getting is responses to my messages. It's all mixed messages. They don't message me unless I message them first. Okay, listen up, buddy, because I'm about to spit some facts that you probably don't want to hear. And, well, there's no probably about it. If you are only getting messages from women when you text them first, they're not into you. Sorry, but they're not. Not any of them. And this is me being transparent. You're not desirable to women. I know that sounds so fucking harsh, but you're not desirable to women yet. Now, I know some of you are thinking, fuck, Kat, that's so fucking harsh. Yes, I know, but I'm not going to sugarcoat this. Consider it tough love. If you're someone who craves a woman in your life, but there's no one interested in you after years of you actually going out into the world and trying, you need to level up. And I'm not talking about like, oh, I'm sitting behind a computer all the time. Where are the women? No, I'm talking to the people who are going out and actually trying, and this is what they're experiencing. If you're just the person sitting behind your computer or whatever and being like, oh, where are all the women? Well, get out in the fucking real world, okay? They're in the real world. But I'm talking to the people who have actually gone out and tried, met people, you go to events, you do things, you meet women, and you're always the one messaging and you're not getting it. Okay, this is your tough love. I need you to level up, and I'm serious. Work on yourself, not on trying to find a woman. Work on yourself physically, mentally, spiritually. You know the areas that you could stand to improve the best. Do it. And once you level up, then you revisit this episode and then you message me and tell me what a fucking monumental impact I've had on your life and how you're going to name your firstborn child in my honor. And now I'm in your will. All forms of accolades and respect are welcome. But yeah, if you are the guy who's going out, meeting people, meeting women, but you have none that are actually giving the interested energy, the body signals, the language, the hell yes energy that I'm talking about, then I want you to stop your search right now and instead redirect your energy and attention to becoming a more desirable person. And I can hear some of you whiny little bitches right now saying, well, I may as well give up right now because I'm never going to be as hot as Harry fucking Styles, gorgeous. Okay, so? There are so many women, fucking hot, divine, feminine goddess women who do not choose partners based upon their looks at all. Men are far more likely to choose partners based on looks. I'm someone who has always dated men that my friends considered to be like really ugly guys. I don't give a fuck. It's their personality. It's how they make me feel. It's the conversations and adventure that attracts me to someone, not their looks. That's what I find hot. Not the physical appearance. appearance. And I know that most women are like this, but even us who are not looks-based expect good hygiene, all right? Cleanliness, not slobs. Take care of yourself, take care of your body, take care of your appearance, take pride in what you've got. And if you find that women just don't want to talk to you, expand your interests. Read books, take classes, get hobbies, listen to podcasts, become a more interesting, developed person. If a guy is interesting, he will garner interest, period. So anyway, let's get back to the subject at hand. Enthusiastic consent from a woman is not subtle. Whether it's consent to give you our phone number or snap, or consent to tie up and have a kink scene with. Enthusiasm is really what you're looking for. It's felt. Anything less than that is a signal to slow down, pull back, or stop. And this brings me to something that will actually give men the confidence they're looking for, but it's probably not what you'd expect. Confidence does not come from figuring women out. You're not going to listen to a podcast episode on Decoding Women and then be confident that you can go out and snag one. Confidence comes from how you handle uncertainty. It's going to come from your ability to read a situation honestly, to respect what you see, and to walk away without ego when the answer you wanted is not there. There is nothing weak about recognizing disinterest and exiting gracefully. Actually, it's one of the strongest and most attractive fucking things a man can do. Hey, I'm getting the sense you're not interested. No worries at all. It was nice meeting you. Then exit. Don't wait for her to argue. No, you're fine. Because oftentimes we are going to argue that, even if we do want you to leave us the fuck alone. But your response shows awareness, self-control, and respect, and it removes pressure. It creates that safety that we need. And ironically, this is also the type of behavior that makes women feel more comfortable being direct in the future. And furthermore, your lack of ego and your excellent awareness in that situation, if you say, hey, I'm sensing that you're just not interested in me, no worries, I'm out. It was nice meeting you. Good luck, whatever. That might just be the sign to us that you are someone worth getting to know better. Again, this isn't intentionally mixed signals. It's safety. This is self-preservation. But this brings us back full circle. If men want women to be more honest, more clear, more direct, then men need to become safer to be honest with. Safer in how they respond to rejection, and how they handle disinterest, and how quickly they respect boundaries. And to reiterate, there are the signs of interest. She adds to the conversation. She asks you questions back. She makes communicating easy. There's eye contact. The body is angling towards you. She's not staring at her phone the whole time. Her answers are more than one-word responses, and she will offer her contact info. She's enthusiastic. So at the end of the day, it's not about decoding women. I want you to become the kind of man that doesn't have to decode, because you're simply paying attention and you take the hint and you're fucking respectful. You understand that attraction is not something that you force, and you get your fucking ego out of the equation. And that is what actually changes the experience for everyone involved, really. So I hope you learned something from this. I know it was a little different than our normal kink stuff, but I think it's fucking important. So thank you for joining me. Join me again next week. If you had any questions or comments, feel free to email me directly, thewildcreatrix@gmail.com. You can also check out my website, www.KatNash.com, for all of my offerings, including the upcoming Femdom course for femdoms. I know I've got some couples and femdoms that listen, so you'll want to check that out. And coming up will be some more offerings for my submissives. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you next time. And as always, stay kinky, my pets.